Every single day, I've been trading the same strategy and getting wins after wins after wins every single morning. Now, the secret behind my strategy isn't luck, it's actually an indicator. Now, if this indicator did not exist, I would have just came up with the idea because it's really good and it's a good concept for the market. Because with this indicator, you'll be able to see if the market is gonna reverse or you're gonna be able to see if it's going to trend. This isn't anything crazy complicated, it's actually quite simple. So I'm gonna be going over my strategy that helped hundreds of people with their trading journey and actually made them become profitable. And it even helped them buy car. That's actually pretty crazy. But before we get into my strategy in this indicator, we're gonna have to go into the core and why this works. Too many traders use indicators that they don't even understand. They don't even understand the math that goes behind it, which make them use the indicator not to its fullest potential. Indicators are made to see what type of buying and selling is going throughout the market. So that means every indicator can be useful if you use it correctly. But let's talk about my favorite indicator. But let's explain how the market works so you can understand why this is an effective indicator. Now, there's a difference between retail buying and institutional buying. One is informed and one is not informed. Institutional buying is always going to be different from retail buying. Now, institutions have billions of dollars. They move the market. They're able to actually make movement within the charts that we trade in. So since they have the power to move the market, as a retail trader, you're not trading with information. You're trading off of the reaction of what these institutions are doing. When institutions are buying, that's when it's going to be really easy for you to get profit, and whenever they're selling, it's good for you to start shorting the market as well. Now, the point of indicators is to see what the institutions are doing. So say if they're buying up a lot of shares, it will show in the volume. And say if they're buying a lot of shares really fast and moving the market, it will show in the RSI. The point is, indicators are actually made to see what is actually going on within the market. Now, what every trader should know is volume. Volume isn't just a bar that can be high and low. Volume can actually show you the weight of the candle. Now, volume will only show up if there's a lot of shares being traded. So say if there's a lot of shares being traded, you're going to get a high volume candle. You can actually use volume to confirm a breakout or a reversal. So high volume with strong candles means strong buying, and low volume with low candles means slow buying. Every single candle have a story behind it, and volume is always gonna give you a little piece. Now, let's talk about my favorite indicator that printed me hundreds of thousands of dollars within my community. The indicator is called VWAP. Volume weighted average price. Now, when I say I've been making thousands of dollars using VWAP with me within my community, I am not joking. Like, I kid you not, I remember trading this in months, and I would literally trade in different spots. It was pretty fun, actually. So the best way to describe the VWAP is an indicator that have volume and also price action combined. Now, using the volume and the price action within a day, we can create a fair market value. The VWAP shows the average price that's been traded within that day. And 10 times out of 10, institutions are the one that's actually buying and selling up the market, so we're able to see their average. Now, as you see, the VWAP actually come with two other bands. So the green one on the top is called the upper band, and the green one at the bottom is called the lower band. Now, these bands can actually send signals if the market is overbought or oversold. So when the market is above the upper band, it signals premiums and is overextended. And when the price is below the lower band, it signals discounts and oversold. Now that we understand these indicators, what we can do is combine them and we can create the strategy. Now, with this strategy, you only trade it in the mornings, which is the first 29 minutes. But the best way to understand this strategy is understanding 5 steps. So I'm gonna give you the 5 steps. And if you're able to do these 5 steps, you become a profitable trader. Now, there is rules in the strategy you need to follow, but it's only 2 rules. These rules are really important because if you don't follow them, you can actually just mess up the whole system, and the system is gonna collapse, which means you can possibly just blow all of your money. Okay, now the first rule is you're gonna be trading in the first 29 minutes of the market, and if you go past the first 29 minutes of the market, you're breaking the strategy. this is only supposed to be traded in the morning. The second rule, now if it comes down to our second lower band, not our first one, but our second one, that means the trade is invalid. So do not take that trade because it's too oversold and we're not buying at that area. Now let's go into an example of my most recent trade, and we can show you a live example on how to trade this strategy. So this was actually my last trade. Let's break this down so you can understand the strategy. So step one is going to be identifying green candles above the VWAP. As you see, the VWAP is right here, this blue line right here. Then step two will be waiting for a drop on a lower band, and we're waiting for a candle to close below the lower band. Now when you get a close, that means you can actually buy your contracts, and that would be step three. Step three will be entering in your position. After that, what you're gonna do is have a stop loss on the second band. Oh, and guys, if you want to know my exact settings for my stop loss, you can join my Discord for free, and I actually have it in for free to see my stop loss using this strategy. After step three, when you buy it, the next step is gonna be step four, which is gonna be selling half of your position at the VWAP. And then lastly, step five is going to be selling at the upper band. As you see, this was a quick trade, and we actually made 50% with this trade, and the whole community profited, and we actually made so much money on this day. Now that is the blueprint of my morning VWAP reversal strategy. And also there's so many different ways you can actually trade with this strategy, but if you're a beginner, I would recommend you actually just understand the blueprint and just follow step by step by step. Now this is actually the strategy that I use to make a living. I have more strategies that I do use that I did create just like this one that is profitable as well. But this one is actually really good. Like, I made so much money using this strategy. I've been trading this setup even last year, and I actually have back testing all the way in 2023. And it's so cool because like I said earlier, you can literally take this strategy anywhere with you. So for example, I would trade in so many different spots last year because who don't like traveling? And every single place that I would go to, I would get the same wins just because the strategy is going to work anywhere. So if you found any value in this video, make sure you give a small creator a follow, give me a subscribe, give me a like, give it to me, grow the channel. But I'm gonna make sure I keep on giving out more value and staying consistent, but you guys need to make sure you guys are staying consistent with your trading journey. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and peace out.